Greetings and welcome. I'm Sheba Maya and I'm an illustrator and portrait artist, and I specialize in digital painting. I'm very excited to share my latest project with you. I've created a full-length instructional DVD on the topic of digital painting, and I've been getting a lot of questions since I have announced its release, and so I thought that I would share a few snippets from the video so you can get an idea of what's included. So the following video is a few excerpts from the lesson. I'll be focusing on the hand and the arm. So enjoy, let me know what you think in the comments, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. And again, I'm just blocking in the form very loosely. I just want to get a sense of the rise and fall of the forms of her body, and I'm just using the colors from the top row of our color palette. I'm just using the orange and a little bit of the lavender for the highlights, and this dark purple in our top row to indicate the shadows. So I'm just going to move on to the arm here, and I'm smoothing out some of this color that I've blocked in and enhancing the contrast a little bit. And this is a really lovely place to kind of show the luminosity of her skin. There aren't too many details getting in the way, and we can see how the color is built up a little bit better here. I'm using the orange as something as a transition color from the main color as it moves out of shadow and into light, into that highlight color. That orange color is going to show itself, and that orange up against the highlight color as it kind of oozes and glides into it starts to create a really radiant glow to her skin. Let me take a look at these hands, and I'm going to start punching up the contrast here. I'm cleaning up some of my sketch lines, and while I'm working on this painting layer, I'm no longer using the eraser tool. When I'm dealing with the contours, I'm using the color nearby from the background to refine those edges. This will really help unify our subject with her background and give it more of a feathered edge as opposed to a kind of hard edge. I want to avoid a cut and paste kind of look. And I'm just indicating some details here. Some little fingernails are starting to emerge, and I like to think of the fingers as long rounded blocks. They have corners and facets that are kind of wrapped in this flesh, and so I'm picking out those facets and really paying attention to the ones that are hitting the light the most. And the color is just going to quickly move back into the darker brown and the shadow color. I'm also paying attention to the angle of these facets in the fingers. Each digit at the knuckles of these fingers are going to turn into a different direction, even if ever so slight. So I'm paying attention to these angles, and this will really help support the expression and gesture of her hands. In this case, her hand is poised yet relaxed, and I really want that to come across without looking stiff. So paying attention to these angles will definitely help me do that. In this arm, I'm looking to really intensify the glow and the contrast here. Her muscles are really relaxed. We don't see bulges of muscle, but the muscles are there, so I'm looking for the way that the shadow is showing its form. I'm looking at the way the shadows and the highlights are moving towards this crease in her elbow and the bottom of the elbow, and really looking for the more subtle definitions. And for the hands, I'm just adding some texture here to the wrist and the palm as the skin kind of folds as it's crunching together. At this point, I'm looking for the brightest points of light on these facets that I've established in the fingers. This hand is closest to our light source and is really getting big hits of light, so I want to make sure that that's reading nicely and that there's still some sense of contrast there. Even though this area is getting hit very intensely by the light, I don't want it to look as if it's too washed out. I still want there to feel like there's some form and some contrast, and that there's still that sense of luminosity. So the colors from the highlight to the shadow happens rather suddenly, but there's still a sense of transition there to keep this sense of form. Also adding some little indications of knuckles. The pigmentation around the knuckles gets a little bit darker too, so I'm just implying a little detail there. So I hope you found this lesson insightful and helpful. You can get the entire lesson by ordering Digital Painting Essentials at my website, shibamaya.com. And if you have questions or feedback, if there's a specific tutorial you'd like to see, you can contact me at shibamaya@gmail.com. And please follow me on Facebook to see the latest artwork and all of the latest offerings, and subscribe to my channels to see the latest tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.